the classic, I was like going way back in time, and I think that's one thing I didn't appreciate is just that the nomadic culture, how it's still in the Berber culture,
Yes.
how it's so interwoven throughout, and that really
Yes.
how people think about life and what's important to them,
Exactly.
and family and connections and personal relationships and welcoming people and all of that. So that's the thing that you would never get from God. Like you just have to experience it.
Well, and each place kind of along both of those lines is like, I will remember from each place a different but specific feeling, but some of it the same, like how the Moroccan spirit of the people is everywhere and in everyone, but then each place having like a very specific feeling that was all of the senses to me for each place, that I can like go to, it just feels so specific to each area.
One thing that we did for you guys is the nomad.
Right.
That was very special.
And again, I completely agree with you, Eric, because there's certain things you just have to experience and feel yourself, no matter how, I watch videos, I see pictures, but when you're at that place, when you're at that moment, everything changes.
Right.
I mean, you truly feel it. I mean, it's just incredible. And that's how I felt today going through, the Ben Yusuf. I went through, all the attractions and the museums that we did. It was just amazing, and it was beautiful.
Yes.
So the question that I have really for you is, why Destination Morocco?
Sure. So again, the podcast was just huge because you could go online and find a whole bunch of tour operators, and very hard to distinguish, one from another, especially in the very short period of time. Like we're very busy.
Yeah.
Everything was a little last minute. It's the end of the school. There's a lot of other things competing for our time. But it was great to be able to listen to 4 or 5 episodes and really get a good feel of you, Azdean, of the company and the way you go about.
Sure.
And it just
what you're trying to create for your clients.
So it struck us as like, hey, it's a really good fit, or it seems really interesting, and then be able to reach out and have a call with you and then feel really good about it.
I think also like none of us are big tour type travelers. And so for us to feel like in a place where we wanted to go so many places, see things, get a good feel, move around in a way that felt comfortable, not having any idea about, true idea about the place, but that it felt very personal. The way you all do it and the way you all set up, building an itinerary and even taking our feedback into consideration as we're building it, and the way that worked, because we're very much like a get into the heart of a place, like don't go somewhere and just only do it one way and only see these things and hop on a bus with 100 other people, like very much, like get into the heart of the culture and the people. And I don't want to be comfortable all the time, right? Sorry, but I don't want to be comfortable necessarily. I want to be comfortable some, but I also want to feel like I am not at home. I want to be uncomfortable in a safe way, when I travel. And that's how we all approach travel. And so I feel like that's how your company also, approaches bringing people into these experiences. So that really, spoke to us, and especially came through when we read the itinerary when we were first putting things together.
The itinerary was awesome. We had the videos embedded and just great detail.
Very detailed and personal too.
It's funny because a lot of people, they don't go through the itinerary. I swear to you.
Really?
I swear to you. Because, when you get picked up in the tree that sits with and say, hey, this is what we have today, tomorrow, day 3. And
sure. They're like, oh wow.
Day 3.
But we wanted to go somewhere that was also part of it. Like, we haven't gotten to go anywhere in a long time. We want an adventure.
Yes, I totally agree, because it's really common in the US for people to go one to Mexico.
Yes, just go somewhere easy. Yes.
We had such a unique experience because we were with a customized kind of private tour to be able to actually interact with people and meet people in a way that if it was just us, everybody would have been friendly and welcoming. But we couldn't.
But it would have, some of that would have been lost.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's still been a lot of fun, because a lot of people, that's how they travel. So when you present to them the organized for the tour leader, the local guides, they just sometimes they don't understand it, or they don't communicate it well enough for them to understand it. But everybody travels differently. But in my opinion, this is the right way to do it.
Sure.
Because you really immerse yourself in the culture. The culture in West Desert is different than when you go to the desert, then when you go to Marrakech, then when you go to Fes, and it's a very diverse country. So
for sure.
The other question that I have for you is, I know this is a big one, perception versus reality. Before and after. How did you think of Morocco before you visited Morocco? Then when you came to Morocco and visited Morocco, and from this moment and back and forward, all over the time that you came to Casablanca, how was it? For you? How did you perceive Morocco?
I think I knew somewhat that it was a melting pot, but I don't think I had any true perception of how what a melting pot it is, how many cultures are represented, and through the history and through the food, the architecture, the music, all of that. That really came through in a way that I don't think I could perceive, from the outside and on the front end, and that really came through to me. But also just I guess I also was like, again, going back to that, like, unsure of safety, and just it felt very, from outside coming, like it was going to be very, very foreign experience, and just how much to be on guard, and then pretty quickly felt like very at ease. And everyone we met put me at ease, and so I think that was I felt like I'd be a little bit more day to day just figuring it out, and didn't feel like that was near as much as expected.
Yeah, I think for me, yes, and all of what Allison said, but I mean, really what I didn't appreciate at all, I didn't have the history, again, because it was a little bit last minute. We were like, maybe we'll go here, maybe we'll go there, and just talking with Matthew, and we landed on Morocco, and then felt like within a few days, we had booked this whole trip.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it did feel like it just very quickly we got it together.
Not having too many
preconceived notions,
but I knew that we were going to see mountains and deserts and oceans. What I really didn't appreciate was just the people, and that's really what sets Morocco apart. It's just,
it really does.
It's just the culture of the people, and that you can't get again from a book. You have to just experience it
for sure.
And again, that very deep. It's such a good lesson, or a good experience for coming from our lifestyles where everything is so fast paced. I mean, here the way people just slow down and have that, this interactions.
Totally, yeah.
And it felt like it feels like, and Eric and I have said this many times, but that the Moroccan people have time for each other, and
for sure.
Every time that Sharaf or Hamid would run into meet somebody, we always were like, did they just meet that person, or have they known them forever? Because I can't tell. Because they're going to have a conversation that way, whether it's a close friend or someone they just met. And so I think that's just a beautiful place,
So Matt, how was that, perception versus reality for you? Because I'm not sure how long you lived in London, but Morocco to Europe is different than Morocco to the US.
Sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and so I've traveled pretty extensively in Turkey, so that's kind of where a lot of my just natural comparisons went. And I think for me, a lot of it was the natural beauty of the country. Some places that, like Rabat, for instance, just like a very, just the city design and city planning and things like that were really, it did feel kind of European and interesting. But then as you move along, it's just, it is the diversity, and I think it is. It's deceiving when you're looking on a map or just like looking at like
very deceiving,
you're looking at as the crow fly, how big the country is, how far some things are apart, and just kind of the day-to-day differences. I think one thing. The diversity of the food was different, or more than I expected. I definitely expected, but some differences. But yeah, that was great.
That's awesome.
It's been a trip of a lifetime.
Thank you. That's what
It really has been.
It's a bucket list country. It's not a country you go to every other year or so.
Sure.
Right? Forget it.
Yeah.
We have memories and that's it.
Oh.
And the fun. Oh, so sorry.
I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I don't feel that way. I'm coming back.
She's been planning. She's like, because thank you so much for the tea set.
Yeah.
It's like, what a great tradition. So when people.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm addicted to the mint tea. I love it so much. It's my favorite tradition.
In our backyard.
I am so excited.
you can.
I've been trying to so we've all been talking on how in Houston am I going to grow enough mint, because like it's hard because it's so hot in Houston.
It does grow actually, and it grows fast.
Okay, but like with the amount of rain and like how much sun, I'm like, I've been planning it. I'm like,
They can show us.
Yes.
I think most importantly to me is, again, going back to something I said earlier, but the feeling I'll take home with me and the heart of the people of Morocco is just, I have things that on a day-to-day basis, I will think about, how can I receive people and show that heart to the people in my life and around me.
That's really deep. Wow.
Yeah, well, I just want to say just a lot of gratitude. Just gratitude for everybody, you, Azdean, and Sam, and the entire team at Destination Morocco. The people you have are really, really special. We built a special friendship with all of them. Our tour operator, Hamid, now we've got our own connect. We're sending each other music videos separately, even though we haven't seen him for 5 days, and sharing pictures, and like he's now a personal friend. So that's really, really, really just very special and touching, and just a lifetime experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think for me it's I've traveled a lot of places, and this is definitely one of the most, kind of back to what I was saying earlier, the senses, and you can read all about it, you can see pictures, you can watch movies, but until you actually sit down in the middle of Medina, eating food with smoke, and having drums in the distance, maybe call to prayer in the distance.
Yes.
It is a completely different experience that no book, no movie could ever capture. And I think that those are some of the experiences that I'll take away.
Thank you for that.
It's different than a lot of places.
That's really incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you. Allison, Eric, Matt, we're very grateful. Thank you for sharing your experience with our audience. I didn't do any the beginning of the podcast, but what I'll do at the end, this has been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Thank you to the listeners. We're doing this because of you, and we appreciate everybody who has traveled with us. We cannot do this without you, 100%. Thank you. And bye-bye.
Thank you.
Do you dream of exploring the enchanted land of Morocco? Discover the magic with Destination Morocco, the ultimate travel experience for those seeking luxury and adventure. We specialize in crafting bespoke itineraries tailored to your unique tastes and desires. If you are a discerning traveler who values an immersive, curated adventure, then visit destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, Morocco.com. And let us bring your dream Moroccan vacation to life.